What's up guys, welcome to a new video. So today we're going to show you guys how to change a motorcycle tire. I'm going to be doing on Heather's Z125 Pro right here. This is a 12-inch rim. I'm going to show you how to change a tire. If you want to balance a tire, you're going to have to get a balancing stand like this over here. Motion Pro balancer. I don't use that on the little bikes. I'll be using that on the big bikes. On the little bikes you don't have to balance them, so this is just how to change them. Eventually I will do a how to balance them also, but for today we're just going to change them. Okay, so a lot of people are discouraged because they think that this is a hard process, and it's really not. It's really not that hard. So right here is what you're going to need. So this is Motion Pro bead breakers, and they're also double as tire irons. 2 rim shield protectors, a valve core remover. You don't technically need this. This is a new valve stem. It's a 90-degree valve stem I'm going to be putting in there. And then a air pressure gauge. And then a air compressor. So really not that much stuff. So I got this front tire. We're going to go ahead and take that off. One thing, a little tip, is that this is what we're going to be going to. So this is a Kenda KD1. This is kind of like a performance racing tire for these bikes, which is what we're going to be doing. So this is Kenda KD1s. These are what we went with. Huge upgrade from the stock tires. These things were slipping all over the place when we went to the track, so this will be a big upgrade. A tip for this is when you get started doing everything, throw this out in the sun and just let it sit there 10-15 minutes. It'll warm up. It gets more flexible. It's a lot easier to put on, so I'm going to do that now. Alright, tires out in the sun, getting warmed up. So we're going to go ahead and remove this front tire. It should be very easy because I've already taken the axle bolt off. So this is your 12-inch tire. Like I said, this is for a Z125 Pro. A couple things that you want to do is when you get this off, you can go ahead and take the wheel spacer out on that side. You can also take it out on this side if you want. Because they're probably going to fall out while you're working on it if you don't do that. So a little tip, Max wants to be in the video. A little tip is, so you're going to be working from one side of this rim the entire time, right? So a little tip is, when you're working on this, if you have a single disc on one side, it's a lot easier to work on the side that doesn't have the disc. So I'm going to be working on this side today. Like our GSX-R 750s, they have dual calipers on both sides of the front rim. So you can't do that. You can't get away from it. But on this bike particularly, it only has one. So I'm going to be working on the side that doesn't have that. So first thing you want to do is take this valve stem core remover tool, get in there, and just take it all the way out. It'll bleed the air a lot faster. So you can see how the the tire's already separating from the rim easily. So what you're gonna do, put that back in a safe place because you don't want to lose that. So now what you're gonna do is you have most of the air is out, the compressed air. Now it's just kind of a little bit of air that's still in there. So what you're gonna do is take your bead breaker tool and you're gonna stick it in the rim right here. You don't need the rim protectors for this. So basically all you're going to be doing is trying to break the bead, and you'll feel the tire separate from the rim once you've done that. You can hear that little pop. So the bead is separated from the rim on this side. Now you want to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, because you have to separate both beads from both sides. So, sometimes you can kind of press down, as you can hear it. You'll see, once it separates, the bead separates from the rim, it is basically, you can just push it down like that, right? So, now you want to work on this side, because you don't have a disc on this side. Alright, so your rim shield, rim protector, it's going to go right on there. You go ahead and set 2 of these in there. Basically now you're going to have to pull the tire off of the rim. So what you do is you have a little lip right here. And by the way, all the tools to do this, aside from the balancer, are about $80. So it's very cheap. I mean, one tire change for these two bikes is gonna pay for itself doing this on your own. On the big bikes, it's even more expensive, so you're saving a lot of money in the long run. So you're gonna get in there, go ahead and go like that. And you're just gonna kind of slowly work your way around the tire. All right, so we're getting close. One more should about do it. Now, once you get about this far, you should be able to go ahead and pull that tire out.
Helps if you have salty strength.
It's not that bad. To be honest, little tires are harder than the big tires. I know that might sound weird, but it's the truth. These tires, smaller diameter, it's harder to get it to fit on there, where a bigger diameter, it's a little bit easier to work your way around. So it's a little bit tighter on a small rim like this. So, but the benefit is it's a little bit harder, but you don't have to balance them, which only takes a few minutes anyway. So going over this, I did my first tire change, and it took me just over an hour. And once I got the learning curve out of the way, I was able to do the second one in 25 minutes. So I'm getting faster. So, all right, so now you're gonna work the back side of the rim. So you have this side off, not the back side of the rim. So now you're gonna be working the back side of the tire. So now you have to get in there on the back side of the tire. You can probably see it right there. And you're gonna have to do the same thing and just pull that off. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my rim protectors in place. And then I am going to get in there and start pulling this off. All right. There we go. And it pops out. Take your rim protectors out. So now you got your stock tire to do whatever you want with it. So we're gonna go ahead and put that new tire on, but first we're gonna change this valve stem. So that's it right there. And I like to have these on the right side of the bike so when it's leaned over, it's easier to get to. So that's going right in there. This is a very simple process. Just make sure it's straight. All right, so two things to remember. Your valve stem, you want that nice and tight. And then when you're gonna mount your tire, like I said, you want this yellow mark lined up with the valve stem, which is gonna be the lightest part of the tire. So you want that lined up. The other thing is get the orientation. The wheel is going this way. And you wanna make sure the rotation sign on the wheel is going with the wheel. Especially if it's a DOT tire. You have water siping in here, and you don't want it backwards. You don't want it to push water into the tire. You want it to push water out of the tire. So it's gonna go on like this. You want that lined up. So you're gonna go ahead and go from this side, right here. All right, so now that we have the orientation ready, a little trick is to spray a little bit of Windex in there, and it lubes it up a little bit. Yeah, I know. Funny, huh?
No, I was just saying,
I'm just kidding.
lubricate, and then I was laughing because I was correct. But
You are correct.
Yeah, sure, you can have that dirty mind.
So.
Sure, that's where everybody watching went.
Probably. So you can get about half of that rim on there. Well, that one just popped right on.
There you
So
go.
that was super easy. Now the other side is going to be a little bit harder, typically. Now I might be wrong. It might just slip right on too. So now before we get too far, make sure that orientation is right. You have your rotation right here, which is going to be going this way. So now that we're on this side, I'm going to go ahead and lube that side up. And I'm going to start from over here. Push that side down. Now this is typically the hardest part of changing the tire, because now you have the tightest part of the tire and you're trying to fit it on there. So lube it up pretty good. Go ahead and put your rim protectors on the inside, like so. And go ahead and, I use my knees, try to push it on there as much as possible. Once I can't anymore, now I'm gonna get in there with that. Go ahead and start working that tire on there. And what I do is I keep my knees, keep pressure on there, so
it stays in place.
hopefully it stays in place and doesn't slip out. That's okay. Once you get it, that bit of the rim on there, you can put your knee over there and keep that on there. Now I'll get this side a little bit more. Okay, so now we're getting to the tightest. So now we're getting to the tightest part. One more little shot of Windex to lube it up. Go ahead and stick this in here. Let's see. Might make sure that orientation's right. Go ahead and stick the other one in there. And typically, this is very close to getting to the very end of it. So, try to bend these both at the same time, but it might not work. Might have to do one at a time. So there's one. Just move my knee over a little bit more. Probably gonna take one more little push to get it on. Right there. Boom. Tire's on.
Nice.
Now filming this takes a little bit longer, but if I weren't filming, probably would have taken 15-20 minutes. So go ahead and take your, now that you have your tire on, go ahead, take that off. And you're gonna want to set the bead. All you have to do for that is go ahead and fill it up, and you'll hear it pop twice. And you hear the bead pop just now? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and pump it up to whatever not temperature, but whatever pressure you want. All right, there we go. Kinda KD1 is installed, and now we're just gonna put it back on the bike. And like I said, rotation is going this way. That's an important part. That's pretty much it. Just gonna install it and we're good to go. All right, all torqued down, back to spec. Just gonna put my axle sliders back on, and we are good to go. Very easy process. Take your time and learn. It's not that hard to do. So thanks for watching, guys. A lot of you on IG wanted to see a how-to, so I figured I'd make a little video about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace and ride safe.